All right. Good afternoon. Welcome. Hope you guys had a great weekend, a great Thanksgiving, and we will get started. So let's start standing. Okay. So we're going to spread. We're going to take those feet about hip distance apart. Okay. Spread those toes out nice and wide, and then lower the toes down. Really gripping those toes, the balls of the feet, and the heels into the ground. Hey, flexing the quads a little bit, rib cage pulling down, tailbone is pulling down, so we don't want to have a huge arch through the back. Maybe even getting a little bit of extension through those hip flexors if they're a little bit tight. Okay, roll those shoulders down and back. Palms will face forward, and then you can give it a little neck stretch. Go from side to side, maybe one or two times. And then bring that head up to neutral. Take a big breath in through the nose. We can reach those arms up overhead. And then palms will meet. We'll bring those hands down and around. Big breath in, reach up tall. Exhale those hands down. Let's go one more time, reaching those arms out and up. And exhale those hands down. Good. Just to the sides. Again, big breath in and out. Okay, now let's reach those arms up, interlacing those fingers, and then behind the side stretch. The over to your all's left side. Inhale, we'll bring it back up and side stretch over to that right side. Inhale, bring it back up. We're going to pull those elbows down. Open up the chest. So, on that first one, I really arched through my back. Think, pull that rib cage down, pull that tailbone down. So really tight through that core. Inhale those arms back up. Exhale, squeeze those elbows down. Inhale it back up. Let's go one more time. Pull those elbows down. Inhale, reach it back up. And then with that flat back, keep reaching those hands forward, pressing those hips back. And then we'll lower those hands onto the shins. A little more length through that inhale. Exhale, slide those hands down a little further. A little further. And maybe a little bit further, keeping that back nice and flat. Then slight bend into those knees. Let's rise back up. Again, interlacing, or not interlacing, palms are facing forward. Core tight, pull those elbows down. Inhale it up. Exhale, draw it down. Inhale, reach it up. And draw those elbows down. This time we'll interlace those fingers behind the back. Pull the knuckles down. Hands come away from those hips. Then we'll release those arms up. Interlace those fingers. Side bend over to, let's go to the right side. Inhale, back up. Exhale it over to that left side. Inhale, bring it back up. Release those hands. Keep reaching those arms up and then reach them forward. Hips go back. So just hovering here, making that L shape with the body. We can lower those hands, start keeping that back nice and flat. Slide the hands down a little further. A little further. A little further. And exhale, fold. Maybe do a little sway from side to side. Let's go through it one more time. Bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Let's rise on up. Elbows pull down, back flat. Core tight. Inhale it up. Exhale, draw it down. Inhale it back up. Exhale, pull the elbows down. Interlace those fingers. Hands away from those hips. Then we'll release those arms up. Interlace them again, but overhead this time. Side bend to the right. Inhale it up. Side bend to the left. Inhale, bring it back up. Reaching those hands forward. Nice flat back. Pause in that L shape. Slight bend in those knees. And hands come to the shin. Maybe go a little bit lower with it. Nice flat back. Then exhale, fold. Just let it hang nice and heavy. Give it a little sway from side to side. And now let's plant those hands down, stepping those feet back to a plank position. We're going to do some push-ups, so it can be on the knees or on the toes. Okay, shift that weight forward, shoulders over the fingertips, lower, shoulders high to the elbows. Press back up nice and strong. Again, down, pause, back up, get down, pause, back up. Good, hold it here. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Press those hips up. into that down dog. So pressing the heels down, pressing those hips up, core is nice and tight. Now let's step that right foot through to that right thumb. So we'll stay in this low lunge here. Back knee is lifted, hands are on the ground. Core stays nice and tight. Let's twist. Right arm reaches up. Now thread that arm under, rounding through that spine. And straighten that leg out a little bit more. And then bend into that knee. Flatten out that back as we reach that arm up. Exhale, round. Inhale, you bend, lift the chest, reach that arm up. This time, lower that hand down, straightening that front leg. So you can bring those hands up to the shins. If you need to, flatten out that back. Go 3, 2, and 1. Rebend into that knee, stepping that foot back to our down dog. Let's bring that left foot through to that left thumb. Chest is pulling forward, hips press forward, lengthen out. Back leg is nice and strong. Let's plant that right hand down, twist. Left arm reaches up. And then we'll thread that arm under, rounding through the spine. Draw that belly up and in. Press hips forward, lengthen through the spine. Left arm up. Thread it through, round. Rebend, lift, and reach. This time, lower that hand down. Straighten that front leg. Hips up high, back heel lifts up high. And then rebend into that knee. Pause. Then step it back to our plank. 3 push-ups. Shoulders over those fingertips. Lower. Up. Down. Back up. Last time. Down. Press it back up. Pause it here for that plank. And then we'll send those hips up. Down dog. Bring that right foot through to that right thumb. On those fingertips, chest lifts. Twisting, right arm up. Thread it under. Reach it back up. Thread. So moving through that spine. Lengthen out, reach that arm up. Then hand down. Straighten that front leg. Rebend that knee, plant those hands. Step it back to a down dog. Other side, that left foot's going to step through to that left thumb. Lengthen out through that spine. Plant that right hand, twist the left arm reaches up. Thread it under. Inhale, reach up. And thread it through. Inhale, reach it up. Then hand lowers down towards the ground or to the shin as we straighten that front leg out. And then we'll rebend into that knee, stepping that foot back to our plank. 3 push-ups, down, up, down, up. One more time, down, ooh, back up, and hips up, down dog. Another breath. Let's step that right foot through to that right thumb. Inhale, we're going to reach those arms up overhead. Core is tight. Nice big lunge. Okay, now slowly lower that back knee all the way down towards the ground. Okay, then press, lift it back up. Lower down, touch that knee. Back up. Last time. Lower down. And bring it back up. Now hold it here. Relax those shoulders. Bending to that front knee a little bit more. And lower those hands down. Step it back to down dog. Left foot's going to come through to that left thumb. So we're in that lunge, hands down. And then inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Lower that back knee all the way down. Come back up. Lower down. Bring it back up. Last one. Lower down. Press it back up. Now hold it here. Bend into that front knee as much as you can. Nice and straight through that back leg, or as straight as you can get it without really arching through that low back. Now lower those hands down. Send it back to that down dog. Now we're going to come forward to a plank. Drop the heels over to that right side. Left arm reaches up. Hold it here. Okay, just maybe straight side plank. Maybe you lift that left leg up. Okay, or to modify, maybe you lower that right shin down towards the mat. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Back to our front plank. And we'll go to the other side. Drop those heels to the left side. Right arm reaches up. And hold it here. Again, modifying, making it harder, whatever you need. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Front plank. Hips up, down dog. Again, we're going to step that right foot to that right thumb. Pause here. Then inhale those arms up. 3 times. Lunge back, knee down. And up, down, back up. Last time down. Bring it back up. Hold it here. Relax those shoulders. And now we'll straighten that front leg out. So we're straightening that back leg out as well. Reach it forward. So we can kind of making that L shape-ish with, well, how we were with the fold. And then lower those hands down to the shin. So keeping those hips nice and level. Hands can lower down. Shin, ankle are all the way down onto the mat. Keep breathing. And now rebend into that knee. Go ahead and step it back to that down dog. Other side, left going to step through. Pause here. Then inhale those arms up. 3 lunges. Lower that knee down. Back up. Down. And up. Last one. Down. Back up. Hold it here. Relax those shoulders. Breathe. Now we'll straighten that front leg and start to reach those hands forward. Nice flat back. Hands come over to the chin, ankle, or the ground. And then we'll lower the hands down, step it back. Let's go back to our plank. Then we'll go side plank, drop the heels to the right, left arm reaches up. Let's go back to our front plank. Drop the heels to the left, right arm reaches up. And back to our front plank. Hold it here. And now shift it forward, lower all the way down onto the stomach. Bring those elbows right underneath those shoulders. Forearms are parallel to each other, pointing your toes. Okay, now draw those elbows back as that chest pulls forward and up, lengthen out through that crown of the head. Pull those shoulders down, abs stay tight. So we're kind of tucking the chin just slightly. We want that lengthen neck, maybe even feel a little bit of a stretch as we tuck that chin and then keep reaching up through the top of the head. And go ahead and soften it down. Reach those arms back. So airplane wings first. You can tuck that chin, lift the shoulders, the chest, lifting those feet up. Keep drawing those legs together. Lifting up a little bit higher, maybe a little bit higher. And soften it down. You just lower the hands down, rest your head down. We got One more variation of this. Good. Now, feet together, point the toes. We're getting release those fingers behind the back, pulling those knuckles towards the ear, shoulder blades pull together. Lift the chest up as high as you can. Maybe it's just that lowest part of the rib cage that's on the ground. And then feet together, lifting those legs up a little bit higher. Let's go. 3, 2, and 1. Soften it down. Hands come underneath those shoulders. Let's go ahead and press it back into a child's pose. So toes together, knees can come a little bit wider. And let's come up onto the hands and knees. Roll over onto your back. We're going to finish off with the hip stretch, just a different variation of it. So we'll cross that right ankle over that left thigh. Head is down. Okay, flexing that right foot. You can start by grabbing onto that hamstring, or maybe you grab onto that shin, depending on how mobile that right hip is feeling. And one of the big things is here is, yeah, you might be able to grab onto that shin, but you might be really, really rounded through the spine. The vertebrae might be digging in. So I want you to press the hips down a little bit more, lift through that chest, walk those shoulder blades together. I want to feel like those vertebrae are lifting up away from the mat. Go ahead and release. Switching sides, left ankle crosses over, flexing that foot. Maybe start with hamstring. You can grab onto that shin. Tailbone down, chest is lifted. Gonna go ahead and release it. So keep that right leg hugged in, left leg slides down straight, and then right foot points up towards the ceiling. So grab onto that hamstring, or I guess it would be externally rotating through that hip. So that hip kind of likes to turn in and hike up. We want to press that hip like you're taking your thumb, bring it right to that hip crease, pressing down on it. Okay, so getting those hips nice and square, and then interlacing those fingers behind the hamstring. Press that foot, press the leg into the hands at the same time. The hands are going to pull back. And now from here, little ankle stretches. So we're going to point the toe and flex, point, flex, point, and flex. Press, really flexing, pressing that heel up towards the ceiling. And maybe some circles, one direction a couple times, and then switch the other direction. And then we'll release it, hug that knee in, twist it across. Left arm reaches out. Our right arm reaches out, right shoulder stays down. Bring it back to center, switching sides. Left knee and right leg extends out. Okay, now press that foot up or extend that leg up to the ceiling. You can same idea. Thumb is right at that hip crease. You pull that thumb down towards the right heel to even out those hips. And then we'll start to press the leg into the hands at the same time the hands are pulling that leg a little bit closer to you. And then we'll start those toe stretches. So we'll point and flex, point, flex, couple more times. And then we'll flex that foot as hard as we can and then press that heel up. And we'll draw those circles. Make sure we're going both directions with it. And then go ahead and release. Hug the knee in and then twist it across. And bring that knee back up. Go and hug those knees and give it a little rock from side to side. Then we'll roll on up to a seat. Let's sit cross-legged for a few breaths. Closing down those eyes. Big breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Two more on your own. Really big breaths in. Slow on that exhale. All right, blinking those eyes open. Thank you all so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. And we have intermediate yoga this afternoon, so hopefully I'll see you guys there. All right, thank you.